publicity machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And I've just realised I did that whole intro without my mic on. So, hope you're all okay. We'll do that again, but we won't play the intro. Evening all. No, there's no Phil here today. I am covering for him. So make sure you get your views and comments in. It is your topics today. Anything you want to talk about. There is so much going on at LCFC or Leicester City at the moment. So please get your comments and get your views in. We are talking anything top three, anything Leicester City. What you want to talk about, let me know. We'll bring the comments up and we'll get into it. And that's how you do an intro properly. Then go and mute the whole time before the video. So get your views and get your comments in and we'll get them straight into there. Dawn, welcome. How are you? Yes, and good evening all as well. Simon, no comment, mate. No comment. If anybody wants to watch the stupidness from the start of the show, please do. Go and watch it. It was brilliant from my side. Muting my mic. Just brilliant start. Craig also comes in and says, hi Phil. It's Reedy. I'm sorry. I know you want to deal with me today. And the Leicester fans, my top three is Leeds, Leicester and Ipswich. No Southampton. At the moment, probably not, but you never know. They Southampton play all three teams in the last 10 or 9 games, so they could make a comeback if they beat all three of us. You never know. And then Terry does say as well, evening Phil. I'm not good enough, am I? I'm not good enough to be Phil. But you've got me just for this once, while Phil is away. So, get your comments and get your views in. So, we've obviously got a lot to talk about. We've obviously got the FFP breaches that we're having to deal with. We've got the embargo this season now, which could be a big thing for us if we don't get up. But hopefully we should. And then, obviously, we've got the top 3 race, which at the moment, there's 2 teams on 82 points and one team on 81, if I'm not mistaken. And we all play on Friday. We all play on Friday. We've got Leicester again at 12:30 against Bristol City. You've got Leeds playing, I think, at 5, and then you've got Ipswich at 8. So anyone could be top by the end of the day. Hopefully we win, and it means we're still top. But there's always cases where we won't be top by the end of Friday night. James here says we'll bottle it. Brilliant. Good positivity. We'll take it though. We'll take it. We'll take the bottle. I'm joking. We won't be taking that bottle at all, will we? Dawn says 9 or 10 games could be a lot of changes to the table. There very much could be. There very much could be. We don't know the amount. There's a top 3 race right now, and early in the season you wouldn't have thought they'd be anywhere near getting this close to being where we are now, but it is what it is. We've got 9 games now, and we've got to do everything we can do to make sure we get promoted. Because I think out of all the scenarios we've got from this breaching saga, we've got to make sure we get promoted, because it's probably the least hurtful thing in the Leicester City club right now. You've got to get promoted for one reason, and that's because at least we're in the top tier. That's the main thing. And obviously, as much as we might get a massive point deduction, we're in the top tier. We have to do what we can. If we get relegated, at least we've got more money in the club in a way. The bad side of it is if we don't get promoted is we've got an embargo, which could mean we can't buy any players this whole season. Going into next season, which is massive. Sorry, and also, if we don't go up, we are screwed. We are going to be stuck in the Championship for years on end. And that's how it's going to be. We'll get some more comments in there. Nick says Top needs to start Wheeling and Rudkin. This is a mess we're in, down to them. Yes and no, there's obviously a lot of reasons why we're in this mess. Again, getting relegated in the first place wasn't the best news to have or best decision to do. Or again, why am I saying decision? It wasn't decision, we just weren't good enough. But yeah, the end of the day, the reason why we're getting breaches is because of how many players we've bought and how much we've lost over the last 3 years. So that part is down to them, yes. Andy Medhurst says every game is a cup final now. We had it last week on Phil's show. It's 9 cup finals and it's still the case. We've got to win. We've got to not. Well, I wouldn't say we've got to win all of them, but we've got to make sure we win games, because otherwise we're not gonna be top, and then the pressure is on us to get promoted. And our only objective for us now is to get first or second. There's no doubt about it. For me, as long as you do just as good as what Ipswich does, you go up, because I don't think we're gonna catch Leeds at this point of the season. I think they're going to be too good to not lose games. So for us, I think as long as we keep on line with what Ipswich are doing, we should be fine. Callum goes and says, need to get promoted. If we don't, we won't be back in the Premier League for many years. Exactly what I just said. It's big. It's now than ever. It's the biggest point of the season. We've got to get promoted. Obviously, 17 points clear of Leeds at some point. Just wasn't good enough, was it? It just isn't good enough. Ian the Super Fox, welcome. How are you doing? Appreciate you coming in for the show another week. Simon, yes, you are. I know I was being an idiot. Again, anybody who wants to watch me being an idiot at the start of the show, please do. As always. Adam Tucker says, get the win on Friday, then take each game as it comes. Take each game as it comes every single time, mate. That's what you have to do. And you'll all probably say I'm negative for saying this, but I can't see where points are coming from at the moment. A lot of fans will say keep the positivity, keep backing Enzo. Yes, I completely want to, but with how our performances have been recently compared to how our Leeds and Ipswich's have been, can people actually believe we're like guaranteed promotion? There's no guarantee at all anymore. When you're 17 points clear, you'd think, God, we've got this in the bag. We can lose 5 games and still be top of the league. But we've lost so many points that we are in that sort of position now. I think you'll see a last game shootout, maybe from Nick, maybe. Obviously, Southampton play Leeds, I think. Oh no, it's Ipswich versus Leeds. It's one of them two. No, it's Southampton, isn't it? Southampton versus Leeds, and that could be a big one. But you never know. We have to fight all the way. We have to, Maxine. We always need to, and it was like that for the rest of the season. We just got the points early on in the season. That is the problem. Nicholas says, does Top need to sell up? I don't think so. He just needs to sort underneath what he is, because there's been so many issues since Vichai's death, so there's just a lot going on, and at this point you just got to forget what all these breaches are about, and your only priority is to go up, and we just accept what we get. People are saying we're going to get 15 to 20 point deduction, which again is going to be a relegation battle all season if that's the case. So you just got to ride the times. Hopefully you get promoted and then just have a good season next year, and not even just for the football club, just every fan in this chat, or even any Leicester fan, just enjoy the season next year. We'll win games, we'll lose games, even if we have 20 point deduction. We just got to enjoy the season, because it's going to be one of the last seasons, if we are 20 points deducted, that we are going to be in the Premier League for a while, in my opinion anyway. James says Leeds will win the league now. Probably. I probably would say on their form, there's no doubt about it. There's every chance they win it. Nicholas also said, I don't think he knows fully now how to run a club. Well, I would probably agree, but it's more because he's been basically gifted the job, because obviously the tragic accident that happened. So he's basically been forced to be in charge, and that's obviously unfortunate, but it is what it is. David says, if we don't go up, will stop to sell the club? No, I don't think so. Obviously, I can't remember when he did come in, but I think he was in the Championship when he did come in and bought us. So you never know. Sorrel Motor says, do you think the whole mess with the EFL and the EPL flexing their muscles after we found a loophole? See, this is all conspiracy, I think. As much as I want to believe it, and as much as it's the easiest thing to say about it, I don't think they are. They just want to. I think they're just trying to throw something at us because of it in a way. Like we've found a loophole. That is our doing. We did it. I think from what I remember, from what I've seen and what I've read, we did do that on purpose because we worked the loophole out. But it might, like, we broke rules either way. We broke rules either way, so we can't grumble. We can't fight against it. As much as Leicester are fighting against it, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna win in any way, because if anything, it's gonna make the points deduction even worse if we're gonna fight it and we lose it. So Rookin has to go, said Andy. Yes, completely agree. Dawn here says absolutely have to go up or be stuck in the Championship many years to come. I completely agreed. Michael says yes, top sell up. Nick Moore also says they put the Deadwood on one of those stupid wages. They also put Rodgers on a 10 mil sacking bonus. Unacceptable, really. It is. No, I get it. I'm not saying it's not their fault, but there is many factors to why we're in this position right now. Again, me and Phil were talking in the office earlier and saying 2 years ago, whenever it was, we were literally in a European semi-final against Roma. And now we're sitting in the Championship, worried about not going up. That's the big difference, and that is how quickly it can change from being a top 6, top 8 club to being relegated and in the Championship. Nick does say here, we're in a lot of mess by gambling on players by the end of the season, and hope we don't get relegated, simple as that. I don't know, because when we first brought them in, I thought, and not just me, I feel like a lot of fans thought it was a good signing. Christensen for the first few games, I thought it was quality. Suter was decent when he was in there, but it just wasn't enough, was it? I think for me the main reason we went down last season was because Rodgers was sacked too late, and then there was 2 games where no one was in charge other than like the actual coaches. That's what killed us, because there were 2 winnable games. I think it was against Bournemouth, and I think it was against Bournemouth and someone else, and both of them were winnable games, and we lost them. And if there was anyone, I think if Dean Smith was in charge then, I think we probably would have stayed up, because we would have had a plan, but it just felt like we were just playing the same old Leicester after Rodgers got sacked, so it was just annoying. Martin also says we are saying the same thing as we did last season. Look what happened. Yep. Andy says, do you think Ipswich have been lucky this year? You had to bring it up, didn't you? You had to bring it up. No, I probably used the word lucky a bit wrong. Again, biased to clubs. I think any other team saying if they score a last minute winner or they're getting all the points that we haven't been getting, people will use the word lucky, but it's not lucky. Again, teams are just doing what we can't at the moment, which is the problem. Let me just keep showing up because we're quite behind on the comments. James also says here, would this shit still be happening if each was in Star Wars? Not hating on top, but it's just a thing I'm thinking. Probably. I think probably we'll be in a better position with Vichai. I don't think we'd be in the same spot, but I think he's had more experience and more leadership, and he's older. He was older, so he knew what he was doing. Dave Platt says, what worries me is that Leeds and Ipswich are on fire. We have won 1 out of 5. How can we be confident to find that form to get up? Exactly. That's one reason why I'm not that positive. With everything as well coming on to us about the breaching and whatnot, it's dampening the season. And I just hope that with all the players that we've got back now after this international break, the likes of Ricardo, the likes of Vardy, obviously Vestergaard, I don't know if he's back from his suspension. I think he is. I don't know. Actually, no, he's definitely back. But yeah, we just kind of got our team needs to be on top form this last 9 games of the season. Dewsbury Hall needs to step up his game because he's been average at best. Mavadidi, other than the Chelsea goal, he's been woeful, and I mean woeful. He doesn't look like he even wants to be on the pitch at the moment, which here or there is annoying because before he was being one of the best players in the team. David Michael says big question mark is, do we keep Vardy biggest wages, or does he take a wage cut to help us next year in the whichever league? If we stay in the Championship, he'll go. If he's in the Premier League, I could see him staying for another year. That's just me. I think he deserves one more year in the big league to see what he can do, but then he will retire or he will go to a different country to play his football or to manage or whatever. 8563 Robbie says, do you think our squad can cope with the pressure? Can Leicester City cope with pressure? The last 5 years of being in a good position and then losing it, I won't be sure that we'll do it. I don't think there's every chance we go into the playoffs. I think there's no chance we can't not get playoffs because of how many points we've got, but again, playoffs is a bloody lucky pot draw, isn't it? James Hill says he agrees with whoever we spoke about. Don't think everyone will win over Easter. Maybe not. Again, there's going to be I think most teams have 3 games in this next 7 days after Friday. So as long as we get, again, people were saying that we can get 9 points. I'd be happy with 7 if I'm totally honest. Norwich isn't going to be an easy game at all. They're in a sick position at the moment, so there's no chance that it's going to be a hard game. But again, 7 out of 9 points is, for me, is decent enough. As long as the other teams around us don't get all 9 points, which again is possible. Terry Payne says the break couldn't have come at a better time. Ricardo back fit to start. Exactly, that's one of the main reasons that we should be having a good end of the season, unless he gets injured in the Bristol City game, unfortunately. James Hill says, I think if we reach playoffs, we won't win it. Well, you saw Jamie's show yesterday, and he was saying about, and the guy on there was saying about majority of the time, the team that finished third do go and win it, but there's always upsets. And it is what it is. Scott says, no chance we win the league. That's gone to Leeds. Between us and Ipswich, for second, it is. And like I said, as long as we do as good or better than Ipswich, I think we do go up. But we've just got to make sure we perform. And at the moment, Ipswich and Leeds are on the exact same run. They've been winning games back to back. So it's just unfortunate. I think obviously other than the Cardiff game, Potter job Leeds for the title. Yeah. Michael Lee says Andrew Neville runs the club for top. He's an invisible man. Okay. Darren also says we're going up. Hopefully. Costa Georgiou or GOG. I can't say your name, mate. I believe we will win the next 3 games, and after that, all happens will be negative. We'll go away. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it all comes down to how we perform. Again, the draws we've had before we've ended the break was not the greatest, but again, the tough teams, like I said, Norwich is going to be another tough one. That's why I'm saying I expect a draw there. But hopefully the negativity goes away and we do start on a big run, because we could win the next 9 and go straight back up and win the title. You never know. Nick says, I love King Power and what they've done for the club and the city, but Top doesn't have a Scooby. He's letting Rudkin and Shetland run the club into the ground. I think at a certain moment they will get rid of who we need to get rid of, but I think there's so much loyalty there, I just can't see it happening anytime soon. Leeds at home to Saints last game of the season, yes. You should announce a big thank you to the fake manager, Brendan Rodgers. Yeah. Lewis says, I just question who the main striker is now. From he changed from Kelechi to Daka to Cannon, now to Vardy. In your opinion, who should be starting? No, not unfortunately. Vardy, he's the only man for the job now. He's shown he's probably the most prolific striker. We've all known it for years. He is the most prolific striker. He wasn't in the best form at the start of the season, but now he's gone scoring record. I think he's got a goal every 98 minutes of a game when he's been playing. So there's no doubt about it. He has to be back in that squad. And as much as I was backing Daka as much as he can, he hasn't been scoring. So you just can't start him, can you? And if he does, then you've got to be looking at Enzo, because you can't be starting someone who's not been scoring. Dawn says 20 points. Yeah, it could be. It could be. And if that's what you're talking about, the deduction of the points. We're heading back to 2008. I could not remember that, if I'm totally honest. I was still watching them, but not. I can't remember that far back, mate. Brian here says, why is most fans panicking, as overall we have been the far best team in the league and deserve to go up more than Ipswich and Leeds, also deserve to go up as well. I think we will be fine and find an extra remaining games and push through. I hope so, Brian. I really do hope so. I'm not saying we're being negative or anything like that. I think it's just because of how we've been performing. The performances haven't been great. A lot of players have been average at best. I think once the team, like say, against Bristol City, you'll have all your main players back. You'll have Ndidi fully fit again, hopefully. You've got Ricardo Pereira back. You've got Vardy back. You've got a lot of players, and hopefully the likes of Ndidi and Mavididi and Dewsbury are back on full form, because if they do that, we will win games easily. They are way better than most of the team in the league, so we've got to be. Michael says we have 4 strikers and only play 1. Madness. It's not a madness. We know what Enzo's like. We know what Enzo's philosophy and style is. It's never going to be more than 1 striker. And to be honest, I was shocked not one of them when Cannon came in, if I'm totally honest. And you'd probably say Daka was on the verge of going to Bournemouth, but obviously didn't do it because of Bournemouth being late to get him signed up. Andy Medhurst says they don't want other teams apart from the top 6 winning the Premier League again. Again, ours was more ridiculous quality, like ridiculous out there shout to win the league. We weren't expected to win the league, were we? But Graham says Gary says I am a Leeds fan. I think you will end up going top. Hopefully, mate. Every chance there is, every chance we don't. It's all about how we perform the last 9 games of the season. We could go on a run of 9 wins and we're already up, but again, you just got to make sure you do it. Answer my question, mate. Callum Barnes, let me have a quick look for you, mate, because I did not see you. Let me have a look. Callum Barnes. Just for you, I'll have a quick look. I cannot see where you are. You've not put any comments in, mate. I can't see them. If you want to put it again, mate, I'll answer it, but I cannot see it anywhere. Oh, here, sorry. It is here. Leicester won the league, the FA Cup, and finished 5th twice, and constantly sold their best players for huge profit, yet they still ran out of foul of PSR. The system is designed to protect its clubs and punish anyone who comes in. It is, but I think the main thing what we worked out today is the amount of players we've lost on a free is just a joke. We're losing so many players this year on a free. We lost Yuri Tillemans on a free. We've lost so many players on a free. It is absolute a joke. We lost Soyuncu on a free when we could have sold him for about 40 million a few years before. There's so many issues at the club that has resulted in this. It's not just because we've sold players. It all depends on how much we've lost. And even though we've gained so much money in the last couple of years to so many players, it is what it is. But we hope we can get promoted anyway. Scott says we're shooting ourselves in the foot by fighting this. We've overspent, no way around it. Should be admitted straight away and cooperate with Forest did. Forest haven't cooperated actually, Scott. They came out today and said that they're fighting against it. I don't think many teams will not fight against it. They're going to fight because they don't want to get the points. Like, they're not going to get deducted more points for fighting it. It's either you get 4 points or less. So for me, as much as we're fighting it, it's just to see if we can get less points. People are saying that we'll get deducted more for trying to fight it, but they won't, because we're just trying to confirm what probably is inevitable, really. Dawn here says, and should have not played Ward for so long, we should have stayed up. Christ, yeah, there were so many reasons why we went down last season. Top relied on rucking them too much. Yep. Play two up top, has a plan B. Has Enzo got a plan B? Don't think so. The only time I've seen that is when he puts Vestergaard up front against Chelsea, and it was nice to see. It was fun to see, but it didn't work, did it? Michael says this has all been done before by Andrew Neville administration. He's been a crook. That's what Neil Warnock was talking about. Yep. Nick here also says we need to make sure these last 9 games the crowd rocks home and away. No more moaning about the style, etc. There is a bigger thing at stake now. We need fans behind the end zone. And lads, yeah, I completely agree. I'm not saying I'm not like that. I'm just saying that there will be boos or moans when something doesn't go what a fan wants to happen, because it's just how football is. I've moaned in the past when a ball comes back when there was a clear open opportunity to pass it forward. That is just what any football fan are like. You can't sit there for 90 minutes like cheering what you're looking at, even if you're losing 9-0. Do you know what I mean? They're not. What gets the crowd going is the performances and how much the players want it. And the moment you get that one tackle in there, that was a brilliant tackle that was very, very feisty. That's what will get the crowd up. It won't be like that all season. That's the problem. Terence says, evening Jamie, see you Friday, keep the faith. Of course, see you Terence on Friday. The players need to realise what crap we are in. Again, it all depends on what we do the rest of the season. Kunai says, would Vardy stay if we don't get promoted? No, I do not think so, if I'm totally honest. Sorrel Motors says, with Ndidi back and Vardy on form, we'll be fine for Leicester first. Second, Ipswich. Wow, you're putting Leeds in third or below. Bloody hell. We'll drop out the top 2 last game of the season and lose the playoffs. Come on, Michael. Have a bit of faith. Look at that. Have a bit of faith. At least. I'm trying to boost the mentality and the confidence, but there's so much things dampening in the season at the moment, isn't there? Here comes a Leeds fan saying, as a Leeds fan, I think any of the top 3 could still win the league, but I have faith we can do it and Leicester will go up second. That's what every fan wants. Leicester fans want us to be first or second. You want to be first or second. Ipswich wants to be first or second. You just got to make sure you do the job, don't you? Dean Sanders says, are Vardy and Ricky big for Friday? Yes, they are. Hopefully, from what we've heard, they are back for Friday. Missing LCFC board, is any chance of communicating with the fans? I couldn't tell you, mate. I couldn't tell you. See what else people are saying. Imtiaz says, if we bottle promotion now, it would be the biggest bottle job in the history. I can't lie. If I'm totally honest, from 17 points gap to be Leeds, if we don't get promoted now, it is a massive bottle. As much as I didn't want to admit that the 2 4-place finishes to go 5th was a bottle, because we are competing against top 6 teams, it was, and I honestly think that this could be the biggest bottle if we don't go up. Again, if you told me guaranteed playoff final win, then yes, but you can't be guaranteed it, can you? That is the problem. Terence says Brendan Rodgers, the only reason we're in the Championship. I wouldn't say that, Terry. I will disagree with that. I don't think he is the only reason. Casper leaving, obviously, I know that's down to the club. There was other reasons, like there's so many reasons, and it's not just Brendan Rodgers' fault. Obviously, there's a massive reason, but there was so many reasons why we are in the Championship right now. Andreas says we are still going to win the league. Look what we have done. We're still in a position to go up. Exactly. Mark also says we are going on beat to the end of the season now. Easy. Sorry. Come on, you foxes. Exactly. Fucking hell. I get hiccups now. James, atmosphere will be more sour than last year if we don't go up. Trust me. I completely agree, mate. If we don't go up on that final game, if we don't know we're promoted on that final game and we have to win, Christ, it was horrible to be there live when we did get relegated. It was horrible. So you never know. Terence says Ward and Amati. Yeah, again, I was a big advocate of Amati. I thought he was a decent player, but again, when you're struggling at the bottom, he's not going to be anywhere near as good as what you need him to be, is it? And again, Siunshu, another reason why we weren't doing well. And again, you'd probably say that's probably down to Rodgers, but there was a scrap as well, weren't there? So there's just so many reasons why we're in the Championship right now. Ellis Barrett says, Fairs Michael, to agree to what he says. Neil says the Bristol game is vital to get back on track. Completely agree, mate. And that is where we're going to end it, guys, I think. On the last comment of the day, we'll go with Braden. Do you think it will go our way with the FP's rules? No. From what we've heard, £40 million over what Everton had done, and they were like 115 mil. We're on 155 million pounds down when you're only allowed to lose 105. So a 50 million pounds over what we should have lost. That is huge. You are not trying to fight back on that much money. You've got no chance. And again, another reason why we're in a shit show at the moment is because he left on a free. There we go, guys. Appreciate you coming in. Again, make sure to follow all the socials. Leicester Fan TV. There'll be another show on Thursday, I think, to preview the Bristol game with me and Sam. And obviously Lox's show as well, which I think maybe it might be Lox instead of us. I don't know. But appreciate you coming on, guys, and we'll catch you all on the next show. See you in a bit.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.